So we have another animation to movie adaptation.
Reviews from hell.
Welcome everybody to another Reviews from Hell. I'm Andreas, and today finally we have Death Note, the new Netflix animation to movie adaptation. I'm not gonna lie here, I have never seen the anime version of this movie. I'm not too into animation movies, to be honest. It's just not my thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna pretend I know everything about the movie. I have done a bit of research on the movie though. I've seen lots of clips, and just to get a kind of point of view of why this movie apparently failed, and it did. This movie failed, not just as an adaptation, but as a movie itself. And that's how I'm actually going to judge this movie. I'm going to judge this movie, as if it was made from scratch to this. Now, I never really care about the whitewashing, as they call it now in Hollywood. It's nothing uncommon. It happens everywhere. And it's not just for white people, it's for black, it's for Asian. Every time we have a black kingpin, we've had characters here that's supposed to be Asian, and they're American. It's been done Ghost in the Shell, Daredevil, and all of these adaptations. I don't mind as long as the movie's fun, entertaining, and it's interesting and it's smart, which this movie should have been. I think everything else is just like small details. I mean, obviously, it's the sad truth. When we see bigger actors in movies, we prefer to watch them. That's just how it is. There's a reason why Scarlett Johansson was in the Ghost in the Shell movie instead of some random Asian actress. It's to put bums in the seats, guys. It's no lie. It's nothing unusual. It's not just hide behind our thumb here. I mean, come on. So, this movie... Oh my god. Okay. This movie, I think one of its biggest problems is its tone. It doesn't have one. It doesn't know what it is. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you scratch your head, sometimes it's horror, sometimes it's like Final Destination, then it's, and it just changes pace so quick and so randomly, you don't know what to think of it. The main character, let's get the casting, let's just get rid of the casting, just to go. We've got Nat Wolff playing as Light Turner. Now, from what I can tell from the cartoon and basically the animation, I should say, and what I've learned is Light Turner is supposed to be a really hot guy, that no one can resist, and that's part of his charm, and that's part of his, I'm a guy and everything. I don't see probably the same things the same way women do, but putting Nat Wolff in this was a huge mistake. Not he's an ugly guy or anything, but he's just not that, I don't feel that he had that, that look anyway for this kind of character. We had Lakeith Stanfield. I've only seen him in, from what I can remember top of my head, the movie Get Out, which he was really good in. Again, very good actor. Very wrongly casted though. Again though, I'm not really too sure if it was his fault, because what they gave him to do in this movie, I don't think anybody could have pulled it off right. Now, Margaret Qualley plays Mia, is absolutely fucking horrendous. The worst of the casting choices, I think, in this movie. One of the worst characters in this movie too. One of the characters that I just couldn't give a shit about from the beginning to the end. It was very... The build up to her character just went from 0 to 1,000 within minutes. There was no memento in this movie. They didn't build up slowly to actually fear or care for these characters. It was just no. We have Shel Wyham as James Turner, plays Light Turner's dad. He was alright, wasn't too bad. He done what he could do with what he got. Then we have William Dafoe, which I thought was probably the best of choices for this character. I mean, you look at William Dafoe, he really doesn't need that much makeup for this role. He's got the perfect villain voice. We've seen that in the Spider-Man movie. He's just like perfect for this role. There is just no one, I can't think of anyone better, to be honest. Now, this movie starts off with Light Turner discovering the book and meeting Ryuk the first time and rediscovering his powers and what he can do with that book and whatnot, blah blah blah. Now they're trying to give you this thing that he's smart and and he's really good at school and stuff like that. And he's supposed to be like an intelligent person. And then somewhere in the first 10 minutes of the movie, you actually got a scene. He screams like the biggest bitch I've ever heard. And then he's trying to play badass, and then they show him he's naive, and you just don't buy it. It's so rushed, it's so choppy, this movie. The script is absolutely fucking horrible. You've got like Keith Stanfield that plays L. He mentions he's smart in this movie. Everybody mentions that he's smart in the movie, but unfortunately they don't sell it to you. They just tell you he's smart. He doesn't do anything smart in this movie except for the assumptions that he makes. He has no proof that Light Turner is the cause of these random deaths that is happening around the world of really bad people and whatever. He just kind of guesses, and he just happens to be right, and it's just convenient. But that's it. They don't explain anything in this movie. They expect you just to follow it because that's how the animation was. The trouble is when you put an animation into movies, not everything fits the same way. Most times you can't put everything in an animation in the movie. This case, it was just like they got the idea of the movie, okay, that's the basic kind of story, and they just made a B movie pile of shit. This movie, it has a big question mark on it because somebody fucked up here. No way did they watch this movie after it was done and say, yes, we're going to release this exactly how it is. It looks like it was a 6-hour movie that was chopped up into pieces and randomly placed in a shorter version that just failed from the casting, from the script, from the characters. There's no development, there's no backstory. Especially L is just there mostly and guessing and just being right about his guesses. And seriously, there is nothing that draws you to these characters. Even when they're in danger, you don't give a shit about these characters. And for me, this movie failed in every aspect possible. There is some nice camera scenes and shots sometimes, some cool deaths, but apart from that, everything just felt flat as a fucking pancake. I would give this movie maybe, just out of the kindness of my heart, for some good deaths and some good camera shots, as I said, a 2.5 out of 10. And that's being super kind if you ask me, because I wouldn't watch this movie again. And I think it's a shame because you had a good premise, you had a good story, you had a lot to work with, and you wasted it. So guys, that was my take on Death Note 2017. My suggestion is, even though I haven't watched it, but everyone's told me, go for the animation. Until next time guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'm Andreas. See ya.